looks really nice. I like this. And I think if I was going to pick anything up from Avon again, I might pop another one of these in my basket. This really surprised me. I thought it was very, very nice. Hi, I hope you are all well. If you are new around here, then hello, it is lovely to meet you, and if you are returning, thank you very fucking much for coming back. My name is Alana and I'm a 36-year-old lady living in Scotland, and that is where my accent is from. And on this channel we predominantly talk all things kind of beauty, skincare, hair care, lifestyle, travel-y, bloggery, vloggery bullshit with a liberal sprinkling of sarcasm, cynicism and honesty thrown in on top. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, there is a subscription button in the corner. Give it a little thumbs up, all that other YouTuber bullshit. This video is going to be my monthly roundup for the month of April, so let's just get into it. Grab yourself a tea, a coffee, a cuppa, whatever the fuck you like. I've just got a wee glass of juice today because I'd already had 3 cups of coffee by 11 o'clock this morning, so just thought I better put the brakes on. So where am I going to start? Let's start with skincare. Now, first of all, I was speaking about last month, the month before, even probably since September, about the Curel aerosol spray. I ran out of that, I want to say the end of February, mid-March maybe. I ran out of it. I had got one at Christmas and I ran out of it. And I was like, it's 20 quid a can. It's not the cheapest, but it is lush. It's very, very nice. And basically I was like, right, I'm going to just find a wee in-betweeny spray till I pick another Curel one up. And I picked this up from B by Superdrug. I picked this up to take away with us when we went on our Prague trip. That was kind of why I wanted a spray as well. I didn't want to take an aerosol. I wanted a little one that was easy to fit in my bag. So this is their hydrating face mist with glycerin and vitamin B5. I want to say this is $9.99, right? So still not like super duper, like, you know, a fiver. It's not budget. It's still a little pricey for a spray, but it is, what is this? 100ml bottle, 200ml bottle? God, it's right underneath, like, I think it's got one of those things on it so it beeps when you go out the shop. 100ml, it's a 100ml bottle. So I basically was giving this a go, didn't expect anything from it, and I have to say, this is fucking lovely. This is so nice. To the point, when I was in Superdrug the other day, the reason I go to Superdrug quite a lot is because it is local to me, but also they do the best baby wipes. I know, probably not of any use to anybody that doesn't have a child, but you know how when you're pulling out baby wipes and you're trying to get one out, and let me tell you, if your child is covered from head to toe, punami situation, you want baby wipes out and you want them fast. And basically, the Superdrug ones come out nice and individually, easily. Anyway, that's why I go to Superdrug quite a lot. So I was in Superdrug picking up baby wipes and the like, and I seen they were offer for buy one, get one half price. So I bought one at $9.99. Was it buy one, get one half price or buy one, get one free? I think it was buy one, get one half price. So I picked up another 2. Doesn't mean to say that I won't pick up the Curel again. I probably definitely will. But very impressed with this. It's very, very nice. As somebody who has kind of more dry skin, I haven't really used it over the top of makeup at all. I'm not someone that does that very often, if I'm honest with you. But in my skincare routine, this has been lovely. And then as I was in Superdrug, as I say, I picked up a few other bits. This actually I picked up, I want to say last year, and I know you're only meant to keep things, what does it say, 12 months? It's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to stop using something unless it goes a particularly strange scent or something like that. This is the vitamin E range, you know, like that stuff from Superdrug, and it is the dry oil for hair and body. Now as I say, picked this up, I'm sure the tail end of summer last year, and I was using it on my legs and stuff like that. I love that in the summertime, putting a nice oil on your legs. But I pulled it out because I was like, I kind of want one for the ends of my hair. Now, recently, you've probably been noticing, I have not been dyeing my hair at all. I usually have like a really bright orange dye through it. And whenever I go to my hairdresser, that is usually what he does. But I got a little bit sick and tired of it. Probably because I feel like I've seen a lot more people, be it celebrities or people on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, like influency people, have had bright orangey hair. Like, not tangerine, but like that red colour. They've had that really fiery red colour. And I'm one of these assholes, yes, that's me, that's a bit like, if everybody else has got it, then I don't want it. I am that dick. And I've never had like red up here on the top of my head, not really. It's always been dark and then underneath. But I'm just getting a little bit like, I don't want to do that because there's so many people with orange hair at the moment. So I think what I'm going to do is through the summer, I'm going to let this grow a little bit. It's kind of much more blonde underneath at the moment. It still has a little tinge of orange to it, but definitely much lighter than it is usually. So I think I'm going to let this grow out a bit. And I spoke to my hairdresser about getting like a much more defined fringe here, but not like fringe, like bangs, if that's what American people say, isn't it? Bangs. And it's like those Bardot bangs. I've wanted hair like that for ages, but as I've said before, I have quite fine and flyaway hair. It isn't thin, it's just fine, it's very soft. I need to put a curl through it for it to look like it does anything. But I want to get a little bit more like shape to the front here, and I'm going to let it grow out a little bit, and I don't really know what to do with the colour. I don't want to go blonde, I just don't think it would suit me. I just do not think. See, with these eyebrows, my colouring, blonde me, we're not going to be pals. But I also am a bit bored and I don't know what to do with it. Anyway, that was by the by. Total fucking tangent, I'm sorry. The reason I pulled this out again is because I find the ends of my hair being a little bit more blonde and not having the nice nourishing dye put on it as often are getting a little bit frazzled, and I do use heat products on it quite a lot. I curl my hair regularly a few times a week, so it was getting a little frazzled. So that is why I have pulled this out again, and in doing that, I know, fucking long story for a shortcut, I then ended up seeing this in Superdrug, and this is the Vitamin E Hydrating Mist. Now this one is 150 mils, and I thought, oh well, I'll try that. It's a bigger bottle if this is as good as this one. I kind of bought them around about the same time. What I'm going to say is I don't know, this one has glycerin and B5 in it. This one claims to have, or it says it has aloe vera and vitamin E obviously, but it's got horse chestnut in it as well. I don't know what it is. This just isn't as good as far as I'm concerned. I prefer the one in the blue bottle. I prefer this. But what I will also say is the sprayer on this one is super aggressive. The spray on the one with the blue top is just a nice soft spray. It just has a little bit more. This is aggressive. I'm going to spray the blue one now and I bet you nobody will see any difference. Hold on. See? See how it goes? Oh, shh. Okay, I hope you heard that. I hope that was audible on your TVs or your laptops. You could actually hear what I was talking about. This one is just a little aggressive. So I will continue to use it and use it up, but I won't purchase this again. And then because I was buying that again, I think there was like an offer on if you picked one up, you got one half price or whatever it was. I picked up the facial oil, but I just picked up this little mini bottle because, to be honest with you, I just want to use it for some facial massage and things like that. I've been a bit lax with my facial massage. I think it's because in the winter time, I'm just like, give me all the moisture, I don't care. And I stopped doing as much of this at night and all that kind of stuff. And I can feel it. I'm going to feel I'm getting a little jowly. Might also be the fact that, you know, losing weight is difficult when you can't get to the gym as often. And you also have hypothyroidism that you're trying to control. It's a pain in the arse. Anyway, moving on from the Superdrug stuff. I've spoke about this already. This is the Sephora Hyaluronic Acid All Day Hydrator Hydrate and Glow. I got a mini of this. This was when we were away in Prague. I picked this up and I was kind of looking forward to it. It's a bit more of a cream than it is a serum. That's what I would say. Again, this is just a little 30ml bottle. I have been pretty much using this. Oh, and I've left the other one I was going to talk about over there. I'll tell you in a minute. I've exclusively been using this in the daytime. It says you could use it at AM and PM, but I've been using this one in the daytime because the other one that I've been using, let me just go and grab it. This one here from Curel, you can see it's absolutely on its last legs. This one I've been using at night time. Now I was using this morning and night, but then I thought when I picked this up in Prague, I was like, I'm going to use this in the morning and this in the evening because this one claims it's anti-wrinkle hydrating serum and all this kind of stuff. What I'm going to say about both of them is they're okay. Like, I feel like my skin has been hydrated. I don't feel like they've not done anything. And I love hyaluronic acid, but I just think I like a juicy serum. I think I just like, as a hyaluronic acid, I want it to be in a serum. I love the Isntree hyaluronic acid serum. I have spoke about it a good few times. I'm pretty sure it's been up in my yearly roundup for the last couple of years. I don't know what it is. I just prefer the Isntree one. So I will probably go back to that. I will go and pick that up. And these ones are a little bit like, meh. This one with regards to it being anti-wrinkle and all that, I just don't believe it. I'm just cynical, what can I say? As I've said before, I'm a bit of a glass half empty person. They're nice, they're okay. I just wasn't wowed by either of them, so I probably won't pick them up again. Something that I was impressed with and did not expect it was this from Avon. Now this was sent to me from Avon, no obligation to post about it or anything like that. This is the A New Lifting Protonol Dual Eye System. I think I spoke about this in a What's New video recently, but that was actually filmed quite some time ago. It was filmed before Easter. I just never got around to posting it. So I have been using this now for a wee while. You can see there it's got like dual system. This one here goes on the upper eyelid to tighten. And this one here goes underneath to like moisturize and tone apparently. I like it. actually really fucking like it. Again, I was a little bit like, meh, not that fussed. I tried it, and now that I've been using it, I would say I'm exclusively using this during the daytime, but sometimes I will put it on at night as well, but I quite like it pre-makeup and stuff like that. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I really like it. I'm someone who kind of comes and goes with eye creams. I love my Inkey List caffeine eye serum. I love it. I rebuy it all the time. It's still sitting over there on my vanity on like where all my skincare is. It's my favourite. It's really good for like depuffing and all that kind of stuff. But other eye creams, I kind of go through cycles. I like them. I'm not that bothered with them, blah, blah, blah. This is really nice. I like this. And I think if I was going to pick anything up from Avon again, I might pop another one of these in my basket. This really surprised me. I thought it was very, very nice. And I wasn't expecting anything from it. Is it particularly making me feel like, you know, have no wrinkles or crow's feet or things? No, I wouldn't say that. But what I do feel like is it does give you some sort of feeling on the lid that it tightens a little. I don't know what it is. And if anybody was older than me, for saying sake, maybe you're in your 50s or 60s, you're probably like, shut up, child, shut up. You don't have crepey eyelids. I get that too. But what I feel like is when I put this on, and even if it's a day when I'm not wearing makeup, just feel a little like, ooh, just things are a little tighter up there. I don't know if that's actually happening, but it makes me feel that way and I quite like it. Finally, in skincare, I have this from the jojoba company. Again, this was sent to me in PR via Sparkle PR company, I want to say. And they emailed me and asked me like, look, we've got this brand, they're interested, they like your page, blah, 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 can we send this over? I wouldn't usually, like I've explained this, I had quite a controversial video up just the other day. So I try and say to companies if they reach out to me, like if it's going to be something I would want to try. So I read into this before I said to them, yeah, give me a little go. And this is a daily cream cleanser infused with jojoba beads to maintain clear and hydrated skin. And basically, it's from Australia as well, I should say that, and it is the jojoba company. And it's got aloe vera, right? So the first thing when I read that, I was like, oh, hello. Because I was told, not only by my GP, but by the DERMATICA team, that aloe vera really helps with perioral dermatitis, which I had in February. It has calmed down a lot now. But at the time, it was taking a long time to heal and what have you. And I thought, oh, it's supposed to be really calming, aloe vera. It's meant to be very good. So maybe I'll give that a go. It also reads that it is non-drying and softening. It's for people who have dry skin. It's very moisturizing, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah, do you know what? Give me a little go of that. Obviously, there's quite a lot left. I have tried this, I want to say, 3 or 4 times since I've got it. But what I'm going to say is, this feels old-fashioned to me. This feels dated. And the packaging is nice, like I've no issue with that at all. But it is very, very, very highly fragranced. I can't even put my finger on what it is that the fragrance is, but it is super floral. That's what I would say. And because it's got the little jojoba beads in it, it has an element of St. Ives to it. It's not scratchy. I feel like the St. Ives scrubs years ago, what was it that was in them again? Like peach kernel or seeds or, I can't even remember. They used to they were abrasive. You may as well have been rubbing fucking salt or glass into your skin. It's not like that. It's very, very soft and it is gentle. I haven't had any reactions to it. I haven't felt like as if my skin has been tight after using it. So the product itself is doing what it claims, but the experience of using this product, I don't find overly enjoyable. It's very, very fragranced. And not only that, like I say, it just feels dated. It feels like I'm using something my granny might have used. Maybe not my granny, I don't know. It just feels very floral and yeah. Maybe got a little fruitiness to it. I'm not someone that's bothered about fragrance in my skincare. I have relatively hardy skin other than the perioral dermatitis a couple of months ago. Usually fragrance doesn't bother my skin, but this, I'm just like, I'm not enjoying using it because of it. I'm really sorry. And I'm sure they're a lovely company and I'm very, very thankful that someone reached out to me and wanted to use it. And that product itself, I think if I continued to use it, I'd probably enjoy it, but I may pass this on to someone else because I just feel like it's too fragrant. The little scrubby beads just all feels a little 1990s and I'm like, no, thank you. Now, I'm going to mention these two again. I did mention this a wee while ago. This was sent to me from Wild. It's one of their Valentine's cases. I think it was limited edition. So unfortunately, I don't think you can get this anymore. I do have an affiliate code with Wild. It will be on the screen somewhere and it'll be down in the description box. If you're someone who likes Wild, you know, go and give it a go. Use my code. That would be lovely. If you're someone who's never used Wild before, what I would say is that this is definitely, for me, more of a fragrance enjoyment. Like, I wear this and I feel like it keeps me dry. But I have spoke to people and friends who have said like they need something a little stronger. They need something with maybe the aluminium in it and things like that, or aluminum, however you pronounce it, to help stop perspirating, basically. This does not claim to be an antiperspirant. It is definitely a deodorant. And the reason that I like it is because I really like the scents that they do. The other thing that I would say about Wild is I have noticed recently, especially if you're a YouTube watcher, they have adverts on there now that are quite aggressive in the sense that they're like, why are you using that deodorant? Don't you know that's bad for you? And it's like somebody using an aerosol or whatever. And I'm like, don't do the clean marketing. I'm just going to say I'm not on board with that. I enjoy this product because of the scents. I like the way it makes me smell for me, but I feel like maybe I'm just not an overly sweaty person. And I really enjoy the scents, as I say. I like putting it on. I like a cream deodorant as well. I prefer that to a spray. So for me, this is a big plus. And if you are into Wild, then I get it. You can use my code. But please don't feel like I'm pressurizing you into it because it's like a clean brand and they claim like, oh, it's better for you, because I don't buy into that, if I'm honest. So the reason I brought this through is because this was the salted caramel popcorn scent. It is done now. Like, it is, I can't turn it up anymore. Like, that is it. Absolutely finished. And I thought this scent was lovely. If this scent is not limited edition, I know the case was. And I think at the moment they've got a case with lots of boobies on it because it's for like Stand Up to Cancer or something, or Coppa-Feel. It might be for that. It's for breast cancer anyway. But if they don't have the tin anymore, I'm wondering if they still have the salted caramel scent because it is lush. This is the one that I've had for the last maybe like 2 or 3 years. I'm sure I started using Wild in 2020. And I've put the lavender and tea scent into this. And this is the one that I've been using at night time. Like, do I need 2 of these? Absolutely not. I did ask Alan if he wanted the black one, seeing as I had this one now, but he was like, preference a spray deodorant, what can I say? So I am now putting my lavender one in this, and I'm going to refill this one with another scent that I have. And this scent, I'm going to have to look in and see if they're still doing this, because I feel like I blew through this as soon as I put it in there. Okay, so let's move on to some makeup. Let me just, I've got it all in this little Merit bag at the moment. I'm trying to pull it all out, hold on. Sorry, I just had to turn my wee light up there because it's got really dark in here. It's actually like a fucking winter's day here in Scotland. I don't know what's happening. We're closer to May and it's fucking, horrible. Anyway, Glow Cherie from L'Oreal. I think this is really nice, and it's been away in a box for ages and I didn't use it again. It's probably out of date, but fuck it. It smells fine and I'm happy with it. I've been using this throughout the springtime and been like, why did I stop using this? This is really nice. It claims to have 24-hour hydration. It gives a lovely glow to the skin. I usually would just wear it with a little bit of concealer and off I go. But today I've mixed these two together, which is the Hydroluminous No. 7 Moisturising Foundation, which I used to speak about on here all the time, but it was in a slightly different packaging. This is the newer version. And I love this foundation. My mind has not changed over the course of 3 years. I think it is lovely. They just didn't do really good shades. Their shade range was absolutely appalling. I think there was only 6 shades. They have improved on that. I think they could improve further, but it steps in the right direction. So that's why it is back in my kind of rotation. And I've been mixing these two together if I want foundation, or just using this one on its own because I think it is lovely. I seen a scary comment that this might be discontinued. I can't remember whose channel or whatever it was I seen using it, but I seen somebody using it and they were like, can't find it anywhere. Is it discontinued now? So I don't know, but it is very, very nice. Now, keeping on the base theme, I am first of all going to talk about concealers because I think I mentioned this one last month as well. The NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. I've been reaching this for this all kind of month as well. I've kind of been going between this and the Merit one, and I have another one to hand here. This one I spoke about, was it January roundup or February roundup? This is the Stay Perfect concealer. It's just a Stay Perfect concealer. And I got this in the same shade, Warm Ivory, as the foundation from No. 7. And what I noticed was, this one is a better colour match for me, this one. But this is very, very similar to the Merit Minimalist. I don't know, like texture wise, I feel like I'm someone who would be like, whoa, foundation or concealer in a stick. Oh, as a dry skin person, that gives me nightmares. But this really surprised me at the start of the year, and I did mention it in a favourites. And now I'm kind of like, this surprised me, I like this. And I think the two are very similar. Now, if you did watch my most recent video, you will have seen me speak about this. I'm hoping it'll do it again. The whole component of this actually fell out completely. I don't want to like totally ruin it, but can I show you? See there? Like totally fell out, just fell out of here. And this is not a cheap product. I messaged Merit. They very kindly messaged me back with an email to contact them, and they are sending me out a new one straight away. No questions asked. All I had to do was like show them a picture of my order number and the product, and that was it. So I think that's pretty good customer service, but I do think it's something that they need to look into, because I've seen lots and lots of comments and complaints about this happening to this component. And considering the price of it, not really acceptable. So just a heads up on that, because I know I've been singing praises for Merit, but I just want to let you know, I really like the product, but that needs to be resolved by them. And I think this might be a little dupe of it. Now, I also spoke about in a recent video the MUA Bronzed Cream Bronzer. And in using that, I was like, I'm going to go back to a few other cream bronzers that I've got and just give a feel for them. What I said about this one is called Caramel. Now, online, I couldn't even see this shade. I picked this up in store from Superdrug. And the caramel is just so like warm, so orange on me. It's not even warm. It's not like red warm. It's like orange. Very, just not the right colour for my skin tone, right? But I thought, where's my Pearl Beauty cream bronzer from a couple of years ago? And I felt like, at the time when I used this, I bought it in the summertime, so I definitely had more colour to my skin. And I started using this, and I was like, actually, that might be quite a similar shade to the MUA one, and obviously there's a big price difference. I think that the Pearl one is slightly stiffer, if I'm honest with you. And actually, like, I'm swatching them in the back of my hand now. Actually, I think the Pearl one is more orange. This is the Pearl one on the top, and this one here is the MUA one. So I think they're both a little warm for my skin, but I loved using this bronzer in the summer last year. Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember. I think it was last year. I really enjoyed it, but what I found so interesting was I was ready to just be like, oh, this is too warm for me, it's no good. But actually, this one is a pricier bronzer, and it is light. I think maybe actually I am changing my mind. I think that the MUA one is definitely a slightly deeper tone than the Pearl one, and maybe the Pearl one is just one that I suit better when I've definitely got a tan in the summer, because at this time of year these are both pretty orange on me. I actually put the Pearl one on in that kind of red flags video, and I think once it's on my face you don't really notice too much, but just so you know, because I don't want to just bring things out and be like, this is great, blah, blah, blah. I'm revisiting things. I think it's really important we do revisit things. And I have to say, this one, now that I've tried a few more, I'm a little bit like, this maybe isn't the right shade. Maybe I should have went with a lighter one. And I do think it's quite close to this. This is an indie brand, so, you know, I understand why their prices are what they are, and it's a very nice product. But just so you know, if you feel like you're not interested in this one is quite similar. And in keeping with that, the one from Studio London that I think is a $5, here it is here. This one, and look at that glossy glow. I actually prefer the texture of this one over both of them. This one is in the shade 4, I want to say, and again, I think like the shades 2 and 3 or whatever, they were just too greyish, so I bought this one. It's actually, this is what I've got on today as a bronzer. And the reason that I prefer this product over the both of those ones is I feel that this one is a little bit more of that Danessa Myricks Contour Balm. It definitely obviously has colour to it, but it's not as opaque. I think it's a little bit sheerer, which means it's a little bit more forgiving. That is it there on my hand. So if you're looking for opacity and colour payoff and all that kind of stuff, you might think this product isn't great, but personally, because I'm someone who is very pale, I want something a little bit sheerer that I can then build up. If it's blush, no, I probably don't feel that way. I want it to be instant impactful straight away. But with a bronzer, the ones that are super duper pigmented and cream straight away, I find them a little bit more difficult to blend. I have to go back in with my foundation brush, you know, blend them out till they start looking a little more natural. Whereas this is an easier product for me to use, and it's a $5. I think this is great. I love this. I think it's a really good product. Now, moving on to blushes, I'm just going to give this one a little shout. It is a Cloud Paint from Glossier. I love them. And this is in Dusk. I've been wearing this non-stop when I've been going to work because I need something quick, easy, put it on the car in the morning. If you aren't following me over on Instagram, then you probably won't have seen my get ready with me in my car before I go in and do a 12.5-hour shift. But this has been doing a lot of rounds on there because it's just easy. It's just so easy. And I feel like Dusk is a shade that, again, it is a nice kind of soft nude almost, a little bit of brown in there, but it also leans itself for me to have like a bit of a blush bronzer as well. So I've been using that loads this month. I have also been using this a lot. This is the XX Blush Balm, and I have the shade Aura. That is it there. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Really, really enjoying this product. Again, it's a similar product to that of the Studio London. It is very, very pigmented, but it definitely has a little bit of sheen to it, a little shimmer. Not just a glossy sheen. It definitely has some sort of like sparkle to it as well. Not sparkle. Shimmer. Not sparkle. There's not fucking sparkles in this. And it's got that beautiful kind of glow in a blush that I really enjoy. But can you see there how it goes quite sheer? So you can build up the colour, but it's also not scary. That's what I'm going to say. It kind of needs a little bit of building up. But for the summer, this is the kind of product I really, really enjoy. Now, talking of other blushers, these two here, the one that I have on my face today is actually this one here from the XX Revolution. And I'm sure it's called the Excess blush. And this is the shade Jitter. And I think, like, see when I open this, it looks a little bit more on a peach side. It's definitely very impactful. It's definitely more like proper coral. Like a really bright, beautiful, juicy coral colour. It's not a soft peach, it's a very, very bright, very, very pigmented shade. And I wondered, have I bought myself a dupe here? Because then I ended up picking up the Benefit blush in Krista. Let me just swatch these two next to each other. And I thought, oh my God, is this the exact same colour? But what I would say is I think Krista has a little bit more brightness to it, a little bit more shimmer, and a little bit more kind of pink to it. Here they are. So this one here is the one from the XX, and this one here is the Benefit one. So it's definitely a little brighter, got a little bit more sheen to it, and a little pinker, whereas this one is a bit more of a true corally colour. Yeah, the Benefit one is definitely like, it's got an element of NARS Orgasm to it. It's got that sheen in it, whereas the XX Revolution one is just a flat matte colour. But for spring, absolutely loving both of these as well. Have had them on my face quite a lot. Again, I have been using the Day Glow from Merit and Bounce loads. I've been taking this one to work as well. Really, really like it. I think, as I said in the video, this is just the outcome of all the products that I really love, and it's like they had a baby and made this, and it's brilliant, and I still really, really like it. This from Collection, the Gorgeous Glow Highlight Stick. No, I'm not into this. This is not what I signed up for. This is definitely like, yes, it's a cream highlighter, but there's absolutely no glow to it, as in there is no dewy, oily. It's, look, you can see, sheen, beautiful, but it's like a classic cream highlighter that I feel like is a little bit more frosty. This doesn't have that sweaty oil glow. It's a more classic highlighter. It's not for me. I will probably pass this one on to a friend, maybe my mum or somebody, but this for me, it looks beautiful on the back of my hand there. Very, very nice, but on my face, it's not giving me that juicy, sweaty sheen on the cheeks. I actually have it on today and it looks nice. Like, I can't say it's not a nice little highlighter, but it's not what I'm looking for, that's all. I want one of those sweaty sticks. A sweaty glow balm, like Janessa Myricks Duet Balm. Something that has that slip to it, the oily feeling to it. And speaking of classic highlighters, the Rare Beauty Positive Light Illuminator. I got the shade Enlighten. Here it is here. Now, this, as you can see here, very much like classic shiny highlighter. But I think I mentioned this in the video when it was What's New, because I had been using it a little while. What I will say about this, like, obviously it's got this gorgeous like dome on the top. I've used mine. It's a bit flatter in the middle. This is a really beautiful diffused highlighter. I think if you just like went straight in with a brush and onto the cheek, you could run the risk of that like silver stripe. But if you use a brush that's got a little bit more looseness to it, like a slightly fluffier brush, and just diffuse it, it gives beautiful highlight. I would use this like across the tops of my décolletage, like collarbone, tops of the shoulders, stuff like that. It's not going to give that like sweaty oil glow, but it almost tricks you into thinking that it is. Like, it can look like really wet look almost, but not in a frosty way, which is fucking mind-blowing considering it looks like a super frosty highlighter. And as I say, I think you could run the risk of it looking like a super frosty highlighter, but if you use a nice loose bristled brush and diffuse it across this area and up here, it just gives you bam, beautiful highlight. I am actually really, really impressed with this. And it is one of the only kind of powder highlighters that I've used in recent years that I'm like, yeah, I'm on board. I am usually always a liquid highlighter girl. I can't remember the last time I really enjoyed a powder highlighter like this, and I think it's very nice. I'm also going to just throw these two products in. I obviously done a whole video and I spoke about this palette. This is from MUA as well, or Makeup Academy, and this is the Andromeda Skies palette. I'm going to put that video up if you haven't seen it already. I thought this was brilliant. I thought this was really good. I was really impressed with it. I ended up posting some stills, like photos from the look that I created in that video, and people were like, that makeup is brilliant. Like, I don't know if it was just the fucking photos looked really good or what have you, but they were like, that's impressive for a £3.75 eyeshadow palette. What I would say is, yes, I would like to go back and try more, but the shade ranges, like the colour palettes that they've got them in, I'm a little bit like, I don't know if I need any of them. There was none that really blew my socks off. Like this one I wanted to try because it was a little bit more cool toned. But the other ones that they've got, I'm a little bit like, I don't know if I need any of them. Like there's a pink one. There's one that's got this nice green tone in it, but it's just an odd colour story. But the actual palettes themselves are really nice. I'll have to go and have a look at them again and think if there's any that I would want to pick up. But the shadows are lovely. And then this, the little eye stylo from Makeup Academy. What I will say is there's like a matte side and a shimmer side. The matte side, lovely, gorgeous, very easy to use, very much enjoyed it. The shimmer side, lovely, very easy to use, very much enjoyed it. But combined, I feel like when you're putting on the shimmer side, like so let's say you just pop it here or you got it in the middle of your eyelid or something, I don't know if it's what it's made up of. It's maybe got a little bit too much oil in it. I don't know, but it creases. The shimmery side creases. I didn't find that the matte side creased. The shimmery side, like the shimmers just kind of ended up like in here and I had to keep going back and like blurring it out. It's not the end of the world because it's just kind of one of these things where you do that, especially if you've got a kind of one and done look. It's not a big problem, but I probably won't pick any more of these up. I think I'll stick to my Kiko ones. I prefer them. And a couple of little eyeshadow palettes. I think they're the exact same two that I spoke about last month, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. This is the Lost in Los Angeles from BH Cosmetics. I love it. I think it's fantastic, especially for this time of year with all the kind of pastel colours that are in it. It's perfect. But also this from Cosmic Brushes, the Muse palette, has not been off my eyelids. It is so beautiful. I am going to have a video up of this, I promise you. I keep saying it, but I promise you I am. I think I've filmed maybe 4 looks now for it, so there is going to be something coming up, I promise. And I've got loads of photos of me wearing the palette because it is so gorgeous. And finally, lip products. So first of all, I'm going to tell you about this one from Makeup Academy, and this is the Satin Sheen Lip Stylo. This is the one that I found was a little bit more pink than I would like. But what I am going to say is it's actually very comfortable, very easy to wear, and you can just swipe it on. Yeah, it's not going to stay all day. It's one of those ones that's a little bit more like a balm lip hybrid. I think it's nice for the price of it. I think it's actually very nice, but I don't know if I'll rush back and get more. This from Muse, again, I kind of spoke about this in a recent video. I'm not impressed with this. I wouldn't have picked it up with my own money, and if I had picked it up with my own money, I'd have been a bit like, meh. I'd have been a little disappointed. It's nice, and it is that classic kind of K-beauty, Japanese beauty, blurred lip, soft, pillowy look to the lip, but I find it really drying. Like, it's a classic liquid lip. And I thought, like, you know, years ago when liquid lipsticks came out, yeah, we tried them on, we loved them, blah, 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 we loved the effect it gave. But a lot of the time, by the end of the night, you were like, and it was like bobbling in here, and blah, blah, blah. This wears okay. It doesn't do the bobbling thing, but I do find that when I'm wearing it, like if I was to reapply when it was wearing down, My lips are getting drier and drier. I mean, that might just be a liquid lipstick thing, if I'm honest with you. But I have tried other formulas from brands in recent years that give that look, but they don't feel like your lips are being sucked raisin dry, like your little cat butthole. That's what Rob Ruti Christie used to say, isn't it? It just gives that feeling. I feel like it just gives that kind of cat butthole feeling, and for that reason I won't recommend it. Just to let you know, I did a reel on it. It looks very nice on application. It wears okay, but it's too dry for me. And then I've got this from ELF. It is the O Face lipstick. I think this is lovely. Like, it's not been off my lips at all. It is such a nice lipstick. I really, really like it. At the moment, I don't think there's any other shades that I will rush to buy, but I have the shade Standing Ovation, and I think it's really nice. It's a beautiful nude. And then this one here from Avon, this was sent to me. This is their Hydramatic, I want to say. I think I called them Hydra Matte the last time. They're Hydramatic lipsticks, and it is what I've got on today. It is a beautiful colour. This is the Hydra Ruby shade. They also sent me one that was like Hydra Purple or something. It was like a grape. Not my kind of colour. This one, however, very, very nice. I like it a lot. So that is where I'm going to leave it for this video. I hope you found that useful. I hope you liked some of my monthly roundup products. Let me know if you have tried any of them down below, and let's have a little conversation about it. And I will see you all again in the next one. Bye.